Number 3 is testing your knowledge of function notation. In the standard XY coordinate plane, for what value or values of x will the graphs of f of x equals the absolute value of x, and g of x equals the absolute value of x intersect? Well, the one thing that jumps out at me is that these are the same graph or the same functions except for their names. This one is function f, this one is function g, and we're looking at both of them in terms of the values of x. So it really doesn't matter what you choose for x. The output would be the same for either function. So, for example, let me just show you some actual numbers with this. And I'm going to pick f of x to start with. So let's do an input-output table. And I'm not getting a good line here. Let me see if I can. I wanted it to snap to, but it's not doing that for me. Let's try this one. There we go. Okay, so for f of x, and let me just write my function up here. That's something that I've always liked to do. So the function in terms of x is the absolute value of x. So this is going to be the input, and f of x is another way of saying the output. So this is f of x. And I always like to try some positive and negative values. So I'm just going to pick a -1, a 0, and a 1. And let me go ahead and put another one in here. Let's just do a +2. So using that f of x, it says that when x is -1, the output will be the absolute value of -1, which is 1. Absolute value is just telling you the number of spaces from 0 on a number line. So a -1 is 1 space to the left of 0. The absolute value is -1. If x is 0, the absolute value of 0 is 0 because it's no spaces from itself. It is 0. When x is +1, the absolute value of +1 is 1. And when x is 2, the absolute value of +2 is 2. So it doesn't matter what I plug in for x, for the input, the output will be the absolute value of that number. It works for 1 and 0, but it also works below 0 and above 0. So I'm going to go with E on this one. These functions would intersect for any value of x, any real value of x, because they're the same function. If the functions were different, we would have a little bit of a different situation to consider. But they're the same function in terms of the output value. You're taking the absolute value of x in both situations. So this one is number 3 is E. And I believe this one would probably be a difficult. I may be wrong. It might be medium, but somewhere medium to hard, I would say.